Friends, hello and welcome on TechGuruSpeaks.com. Today I would like to describe one of the important features of Java multi-threaded programming, and that is about Java Thread Pool. Thread pools in Java are especially useful when we need to limit the number of user threads called worker threads running concurrently in our application. There is a performance overhead associated with starting a new thread, and each thread is also allotted some memory space for its stack, etc. Now, instead of starting a new thread for every task to execute concurrently, the task can be passed to a pool of threads. When there are idle threads available in the pool, the task is assigned to one of them and it's getting executed. So it saves time because there is no need to create new thread, thereby improving the performance. That means if we have a pool of threads, we can select one of the threads from the pool to be selected by the thread scheduler, and we don't have to create a new thread. So in that way it will save time and therefore it improves the performance of the application in terms of response time. Thread pools are sometimes used in multi-threaded servers involving servlet and JSP applications where web containers, say for example Apache Tomcat, creates a thread pool to process the client request that is coming from the web browsers. Each connection that is arriving at the server, that means the web server or the specialized web server called the web container, via the computer network is wrapped as a task and passed onto a pool of threads. The threads in the pool will process the request on these connections concurrently. Java language comes with built-in thread pools in the java.util.concurrent package. Basically, Java thread pool manages the pool of worker threads or the user threads, and they are actually the collection of runnable threads. The worker threads execute runnable threads from the waiting queue. The class named java.util.concurrent.executors class provides factory and support methods for java.util.concurrent.executor service interface to create the thread pool in Java. Here I would like to mention that the executor service interface is the sub interface of executor, which belongs to the same package, that is java.util.concurrent. Executors is a utility class in Java, and it provides useful methods to work with executor service that I have mentioned just now, scheduled executor service, thread factory, and callable classes using different kinds of factory methods. Now we are going to develop an application that shows a simple example of Java thread pool using executors class and executor service interface. So now move to the NetBeans IDE for demonstration of the program related to the thread pool concept. So let's move to the NetBeans IDE. So this is the program for demonstrating the thread pool concept. So first we are having a user thread, also called the worker thread, which is basically created by using the implements runnable option. So it is having a string message. So it's an instance field of the user thread class, and we are going to initialize the value of this instance field by using the constructor. So it will be getting called implicitly whenever we are going to create an object of this particular class. Now it is having a run method. So within run method it will be showing the currently executing thread object and its name and the corresponding message. Then the do work method gets called. So this is the place where do work method is defined, and whenever it is finished, I mean to say whenever do work method is finished, it will be printing the last line in the run method, that is the name of the currently executing thread, and it's basically ending. So the do work method is basically having a try catch block, so it will be pausing the currently executing thread for 1000 milliseconds, and it will be printing the stack trace for if any exception occurs here, and it is basically giving the string representation of this string reference being given here. So after being initialized, basically toString method represents the string representation of a particular given object. So that is the idea. So now we are having the thread pool example class, that is the main class. It is public, and we are having the main method. Within the context of the main method, we have used the interface named executor service and the class named executors. Executor service is basically a sub interface of executor, and executors class is a utility class that will give the factory methods and utility methods required for creating thread pool. So here we are using the new fixed thread pool method to create a thread pool. So here the size is basically 7, and it is basically initializing the reference of the executor service. So that means executor service has a reference name executor, which is initialized by calling the new fixed thread pool utility method of the executors class. So in that way a thread pool will be created of size 7. It is a fixed size, remember it. And now we are having a for loop. It will be executed for 10 times. Now within the for loop we are having two statements. Like first we are going to create an object of the user thread, that is the worker thread. So it is basically the argument of the constructor. So it is actually passing the value of the loop control variable so that we can assign a number, and it is a pool of threads. I mean to say the reference of the executor service is basically referring to a pool of threads here. So by using the execute method, which is coming from the executor interface, which is basically the super interface of executor service, and it will be basically executing a command here at a given time. So here user is basically referring to the reference of the runnable. So it is being initialized by the object of the user thread. So basically we are creating 10 such threads here by using this for loop, and they will be getting executed whenever we are having the reference to the thread pool. So the thread pool is basically executing each of the threads to be selected by the thread selection procedure. So now whenever the object is getting created, the constructor gets called. That is the idea. So in that way the constructor will be getting called, but remember that there is no start method here. That is the most striking difference between the individual thread running for the earlier programs. Here you don't have to start the thread explicitly by calling the start method. Here the execute method of the executor interface, which is the super interface of executor service, will be starting the thread for you. But here you can have a different execution sequence for each run of the program. that you can understand. So whenever it will be getting executed, so its run method will be getting called, and the first line will be printed, that is the name of the currently executing thread and this message. Okay, and then it will be calling the do what method, which will be pausing the currently executing thread for the 1000 milliseconds. That means the currently executing thread will be paused for 1 second. So after that, the thread will be back to the ready to run state from the block state, that is the named sleep. So that is the idea to be used. Now this is a to string method, that is giving you the string representation of the object. Now in that way each of the threads will be getting its chance to execute. Just have a run the program. So it will be showing, so basically, so since there is only one pool, so that is denoted by pool 1. So you are having 7 threads here because the size is 7. So it is a fixed size pool of threads. So it will be selecting any of the 7 threads here. Okay, so in the meantime the other threads which are already been created have to wait in the pool of threads. So whenever some of the threads will be ending, so it will be actually making room for the other waiting threads to be executed. Now some of the threads will be ending here whenever the statements inside the run method is finished. So these are the threads that will be ending, so it will be making room for the new threads. So here thread 6 is starting, some message will be getting printed here. So then thread 1 is ending, then 2 more threads will be started here, and whenever each of the threads will be completing its task, so they will be ending. So this is the last line to be printed. So whenever all the tasks are finished, so this particular method shutdown will be called, that is basically initiating an orderly shutdown, and it will be obviously completing the previously started task, but it will not be accepting any new task. So that is the idea of shutdown method. Now after that we'll be checking whether they have been terminated or not by using this method. So it is having boolean type return, so either true or false. So that is the idea. So in that way you can check whether after shutdown whether they are getting terminated from JVM memory or not. So that is the idea. However, whenever all the threads are getting finished, we are coming to the last line, that is all threads are finished. So in that way the programs will be showing the pool of threads, and each of the thread will be executed by the thread pool, which is a basically a fixed size pool here, that is basically 7. So since we are having the loop control variable to be started from 0 and it will be ended at 9, so we can have message number 9, that is the maximum value for the message. So in that way you can see that you can actually do some work with 10 threads, because there is a loop with the maximum value of the say loop control variable like I less than 10. That means the maximum value of I might be at 9, it is to be set at 9. So 0 to basically 0 to 9, that means we are getting actually 10 thread objects to be created. So that is why you are having message from 0 to 9 that you can see here. And remember that you are getting a different execution sequence whenever you are trying to run the program. That is the idea. So instead of having the start method that is normally followed, we are actually using this executor reference, that is actually storing the pool of threads, and by calling the execute method of the executor interface, we are basically starting each of the threads in the pool of threads. So that is the idea, and that is being followed here. And whenever the jobs are finished, we are actually initiating an orderly shutdown here, and lastly we are checking whether they are terminated or not. So that is the feature of this particular statement, code statement being used here. And finally we are having this line that all threads are finished. So I hope that you have understood the logic of the program, and in your project you will be able to implement this concept if it is required to use a pool of threads, and that is pretty useful in applications like this. So I hope that you have thoroughly watched this video, and if you like this video, then please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Here comes the URL of my YouTube channel, and please visit my website techguruspeaks.com. That will give you a lot of useful information. And this is my official email ID, admin@techguruspeaks.com. Have a nice day. Thank you very much. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel for supporting me. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.